This is uncharted waters for former F1 driver Romain Grosjean. The most incredible story. We use death-defying as an adjective phrase, if you like, but he really did defy death in Bahrain last November. This is a magical moment. He said he enjoys every day of his life because he was told and shown how valuable and how fickle life is. Now it's time to have some fun, Romain, as Grosjean leads the field of green to kick off the month of May here in Indianapolis.
Grosjean was wasting no time getting off to the throttle, and Jack Harvey in that pink car shooting up the inside of Newgarden.
Jack Harvey looks, but Grosjean got a nice little jump, 5 wide down at the apex. Some contact. Connor Daly, Pato O'Ward bails off for the cut around here, but Connor Daly out in the grass.
And so too, Pato O'Ward had to take evasive action through turn 1. McLaughlin got a good start. He's there scrapping with Alex Palou, and he was right on his teammate Joseph Newgarden. So Grosjean, Harvey, Vermeer, Shank. Look at that pink AutoNation car in second.
Oh, he's having a look. He wants to lead Jack Harvey. These guys, Townsend.
Three into there doesn't go, Paul.
Oh, Connor Daly. Disaster. Top 6 qualifying position. Brilliant speed in the race car. I think he must have lost it trying to rejoin because he went off in the grass.
Yeah,
there's a little bit of contact to the left front wing, but it doesn't look to be terminal by any stretch, just a little rub. And you also see some contact on the left rear. So
it's just so easy, Townsend, in the grass, because the grass is quite deep here to get stuck.
Go to E mode and try to see if the thing will go down to
on the grass.
neutral. Looks like it's stuck between gears or something.
Let's take a look at the replay of the start. So Grosjean, as Townsend said, wasted no time in that Nurtec Honda, the purple cover. Look at Jack Harvey in the pink car on the inside, and McLaughlin got a good start too. He almost got on the inside, and the white and blue car is Alex Palou, center of the track. But let's look a little further back. There's contact. It was Pagenaud into Daly.
Yeah, Pagenaud caught the rear of Daly's car, and then he just got kind of stuck out there in the grass. Didn't really affect Page at all, but nice start by Grosjean. Had a nice little jump. Jack Harvey was the aggressor there, getting around Newgarden.
So that was Pagenaud clipping Daly. Daly got sideways from the contact, recovered, but got into the side of Graham Rahal. We'll get another look here.
Watch the bright yellow car, middle of your screen. Right there. Locks up, clips Daly, and everyone scatters. So he's had one go at a rolling start. He's going to get a restart now, and he's got a pretty pumped up British driver in Jack Harvey, the 28-year-old from the north of England, ready to go. And you know what? Grosjean's not hanging about again. Terrific restart.
Went real early, got a nice gap off the corner. A lot of guys kind of wait a little bit longer than that, but the draft now in effect. Newgarden taking a look on the outside of Jack Harvey. Jack Harvey protects the inside.
That's Scott McLaughlin and Rinus VeeKay in the blue car, the red car side by side. VeeKay backs out. Pagenaud mixing it up with Ed Jones in the blue car.
There it is there. Jones has been racing early. Will Power, as he's working his way right there in the 5G, the Verizon Chevrolet. He's trying to work on his teammate, Simon Pagenaud, in that Menard Chevy.
Watch out for Felix Rosenquist right there behind Will Power as these guys are snaking down the back straightaway. VeeKay takes a look to the inside, Townsend. He's super aggressive on the brakes.
Just flirting with it. Push to pass will become active after this lap. They have 200 seconds of push to pass to use during the race. Adds about 50 horsepower.
With that scramble at turn 1, there was some big winners. Ryan Hunter-Reay is up 6, just like his Andretti Autosport teammate James Hinchcliffe, and so too Dalton Kellett. So good early progress for those 3 drivers. Here's Rossi on the inside of Takuma Sato, the reigning Indy 500 champ.
Pushes him wide too, right out on the curb. Aggressive move by Rossi, picks up 1 spot into 14th.
Look at how fierce Sato is behind the wheel. That is anything but easy flat. Turn 14, hanging on, especially on the harder black tires.
Sato's really struggled this weekend. Really hasn't had any pace so far this year on the road courses, Townsend.
He goes up the inside of James Hinchcliffe.
Hinch was looking at an outside option there, couldn't quite get it done. So Romain Grosjean leads Jack Harvey, Joseph Newgarden, Alex Palou, Scott McLaughlin.
Oh, Dixon almost in contact there. Dixon in the orange and blue car. We're on board with Dixon. Almost came together with Sebastian Bourdais. Dixon cannot afford to be out of this race with contact as the leader in the championship.
Yeah, he's on the push to pass too, so it's active. He's on red tires and he's going flat out trying to make up these positions. Now you're going to see the difference between these tires and the blacks. In qualifying, it was well over a second in terms of lap time per lap, so he's really got to make this thing work. Now look at this, Townsend gets in there and nearly has contact with the four-time champ.
I'm not sure Bourdais knew that Dixon was trying to make a move. That is a low percentage corner. We've seen passes happen before, but Dixon's so smart, along with Sebastian Bourdais, to give Bourdais room and for Bourdais to give Dixon room. Now Dixon's got to run on Charlie Kimball in the green Tresiba car.
Push to pass again. Long straightaways here. You can't afford to use all that up. He's going to need it if he gets to the front. 200 seconds of push to pass. Dixon, does he dispose of Charlie Kimball, his once teammate? Yes, he does. So check another one off the list, Marty.
That's +3 since the restart for Scott Dixon. Going to be fun to watch this PNC Bank car come up through the field. And remember, Dixon a couple of years ago started 18th here at the Indy GP. He finished second that day, so he knows how to make his way through the field. All the way at the front of the field, though, let's give a tip of the cap to Jack Harvey. Incredible start at the racetrack where he feels the most comfortable. Remember, this team was out early at Texas. Kind of felt like maybe they got pushed around a little bit in race 1 at Texas. Mike Shank said earlier this week, we're not going to take it anymore. We are here to run full time. We deserve to be in the top 3, and proving that today, Kevin.
Logic would dictate that maybe the toughest challenge, or certainly one of them, for Romain Grosjean was being able to manage the start. Just his third rolling start. Mission accomplished, and also something working in his favor. He told me that I actually struggle a little bit more when the red tires, the alternates are new, but the longer I go, the better I feel. I think I'm faster than others. In fact, sometimes I'm faster than I am on sticker tires as they wear and scuff throughout the run. Last fall, Romain Grosjean had somewhat mentally said, that's it, I'm done. In a ball of fire, he somehow summoned the strength to climb out of that car in Bahrain, and here he is leading at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, pitting with a pretty sizable lead on the others on his strategy. Going to scuff reds this time, a little turn of front wing, and Romain Grosjean is back out with his first pit stop in Indianapolis, Marty.
Just an outstanding stint for Grosjean. Also for Alex Palou, you see him pulling into his stall, able to make speed, also save fuel, and make it last longer than everybody else. We work lap 26 on the racetrack. Going to be primary black tires for Alex Palou, and a terrific first stint. That will give the lead to Scott Dixon, but only for 3 laps. Dixon planning on pitting at lap 28, guys.
Let's see if Alex Palou can get a little bit closer to Romain Grosjean as they cycle back out. Here's Rinus VeeKay in that red, black and white Sonax Chevy. He's had a phenomenal start to this race and has shown great speed. Keep VeeKay in mind and in view in the mix of this race, the young Dutchman. You're looking at a talented young driver in the Gamebridge Honda in Colton Herter with his hands full. That car is all over the shop, and he's been communicating with his dad, Brian, on the radio, who calls the shots for this car, right, Marty?
Yeah, they have had a lot of conversations. Colton not very happy with the car. They were going to fix the understeer issue, meaning it was too tight going into the corner. He said, no, don't fix that because I'm too loose coming off every corner. So Colton Herta coming down pit road, and pit road about to get very busy. Jack Harvey is here with these primary, actually the red tires going on for Harvey. And also coming in this time, Simon Pagenaud, also Scott McLaughlin, and some trouble for Harvey as he tried to leave his stall. He stalled it. They're going to have to bring the starter out and get it cranked up. Meanwhile, all these other cars are coming to pit road as well. You also see Alexander Rossi on pit road in front of you, Kevin.
Alexander Rossi is going to get around Marcus Ericsson. It was the other way when they came back in, so the Andretti Autosport team picks up a spot there.
That's going to lose Jack Harvey at least 2 or 3 positions on this Marty. And Will Power now pulling out right in front of Pato O'Ward.
Yeah, quick stop for the 12 bunch, hoping they can gain a few positions. Interesting, we're going to see when these leaders come in, like Joseph Newgarden and Alex Palou. Remember, they're going to go to the red alternate tires when they come in. Can they jump a few spots? That's the big question.
So it was the inside rear tire that didn't get the nut on it, and he left before it was tight, and then was luckily, and it still got a problem.
Oh, no.
So still having an issue with the back of the car.
Look at the sparks.
Like
It's the back's
Jack, what you got? We show no right rear tire pressure.
Flat, dead flat. So don't know if something happened when he left before the wheel was tight, but that's game over
all right,
now.
come on in.
This day, that's the voice of Mike Shank co-team owner this day, was looking so
Take it easy coming
amazing.
I wonder if he had contact with somebody with a front wing maybe as he was blending out.
Could have, but it was the inside rear that had the issue, and they dropped the car. The wheel wasn't tight, and he left. Luckily stopped, and then they backed the car up, and then they got it back tight. And somehow now he's got a flat inside rear.
Careful here, Jack, bringing it to pit lane.
Tires off the ground.
Just makes it. So Marty, Jack Harvey's going to make the long, painful drive down pit lane again, losing so much time here.
I mean, just crushing Townsend. I mean, you can take us behind the wheel as a driver, but you got to go back to the first Texas race. They had such a terrific run at that point. Top 5 in the championship standings. There's Jack Harvey on the radio saying what happened there on the stop. And this is one of the things that they had to clean up. How they were on pit road, not one of their strengths on this race team, but getting better certainly. And Jack Harvey not very happy after the Texas 2 race where they obviously were out early with a hub issue. And now this incident, they're going to check the right rear and make sure they get all the tires tight here. Meanwhile, Joseph Newgarden laid out right behind him. They'll be pitting here in a moment. They're going to go to those red alternate tires for Newgarden. Here he is on pit road, and we'll see if he can gain a few spots in this blend and maybe catch Grosjean, Kevin.
Strong day continues for Ed Jones and Coinbasser Sullivan in from fourth and back out. Scuffed reds again this stint for Jones.
Having a really good day. Both coin cars.
Oh, that's just devastating for Meyer Shank Racing. Meanwhile, on the other side of the spectrum, you know, Jack Harvey should have been out there still chasing this man down, Romain Grosjean. Grosjean has led 36.
Nice job. Next set of tires is going to be black. Do you need less front wing on the black, less on the black?
But had an anxious moment.
He's battling there with the Wild Thing. Both of these guys raced each other in F1, make a little contact, and he shoves Sato right off the track. So everybody was worried about getting Sato a couple races ago, and Romain gave it back to him.
Grosjean drafting from way back.
Looking inside.
Gets to Sato pretty late at the apex, but Grosjean is on a mission today. He has had the lead. He wants to hold it and own it to the finish, Marty.
And guys, here comes the head-to-head battle. Alex Palou coming to pit road a little bit before Romain Grosjean. I need to go check. I think they went with primary tires for Alex Palou. That would be a bit of a surprise, but they're hoping coming a little bit early. Barry Wander, the veteran on the timing stand, making the call. We'll see if the 10 can gain any ground on the 51.
Did you guys see Jimmy Johnson?
He was trying to wave him by.
I think he's saying, hey, I'm going to let you by. But then I think Jimmy realized, hey, there's a pit speed. There's no way Palou can go quicker. So I expect Jimmy Johnson will let Palou go by right here.
Oh, he might hold him up too. So look at this. So this could cost him. This is where he
here
really
comes VeeKay.
He really has to make hay on the outlap.
VeeKay has been flying. This is for position. VeeKay looking up the middle.
Look at this. The young Dutchman goes right around the outside in turn 7. He is having a stellar day here at the GMR Grand Prix of Indy.
That's called threading the needle, baby.
That was fantastic. The 20-year-old who literally lives across the street in Main Street Speedway was not hanging about for anyone.
Look at the marbles. Look at all the marbles now. He comes right down through the middle, stuffs it in there, got hot tires, turns in on Palou, and says, see you later. Look at this from the overhead.
That was brave. That was sweet.
That could close down immediately on you. Got to be fully committed to send it in there.
I'm sure Jimmy Johnson, who just wants to finish without any trouble today, was thinking, oh boy, here we go.
So,
all right, we got a lot of traffic here, so Grosjean has really got to...
Oh boy.
Oh, look at the Wild Thing comes back now and says, hey, you're going to bump me? I'll bump you back.
Oh, Sato not at all pleased.
Boom.
you might have got the headlines yesterday, but I'm a two-time Indianapolis 500 winner.
And that keeps Sato on the lead lap, which is huge. If a yellow comes out, that'll allow Sato to cycle back up behind the pace car and effectively eliminate a 70-something second disadvantage.
Grosjean's got to hit the pit lane. That last lap was a 1:14. He lost a couple seconds on that lap, and he runs wide out there. Look at the ground he lost to Sato.
Well,
so he's got to hit the pit lane, or he's going to get overtaken by Palou.
Guess what? That's helped. It's helped VeeKay. VeeKay's going to be the guy pressuring Kevin. He's going to be the guy pressuring Grosjean.
and all of that fight on the track plays into the hands of Romain Grosjean. And I also think the tire choice, we wondered about that. What if Pilot is on reds against the black stint of Grosjean? He's coming in a moment, and he's going to the primaries. By the way, he said that move just a moment ago was ridiculous, Marty.
Kevin, I checked in with Barry Wanzer a moment ago about Alex Pilot and the decision to go with those primary tires. He said, hey, we were in the Firestone Fast 6. We didn't have much of a choice. Our only 2 sets of reds left have 8 laps on them and 4 laps on them. We wanted to save that 4-lap set for the end of the race. So we felt like sticker primaries were our best shot here. And maybe that's why VeeKay was able to get by. It takes a while for those primary tires to come in, Kevin.
Okay, Romain Grosjean coming in. He went longer on that stint. That means he can do a shorter stint here on the primaries. He really only needs to get to about lap 60, so 18 laps or so, and he could make that final stop.
That was not a super fast stop. It was a little bit slow, so this is going to be
push to pass on the outlap.
Crucial. Push to pass. He's got to push, push, push. We'll see where this all cycles out.
Looking for the long shot. Where is VeeKay? Here comes VeeKay on the front straightaway.
This is going to be super close, really close. Grosjean's off the pit lane speed limiter now. Here comes the 20-year-old Dutchman. Ed Carpenter Racing versus Dale Coyne, Rick Ware Racing.
It's going to be a drag race down the back straight. VeeKay's got to time this just right to get through the chicane. He's on hot red tires.
Grosjean on cold black tires. VeeKay's going to have a chance, I think.
And we've seen that he is not afraid.
Oh! Almost loses it.
Hang on to it,
VeeKay behind you is for position, half second.
Looking at
Dives it in.
Grosjean.
Oh, look at all the rubber coming off of his car as well.
Grosjean was looking left, looking right. Where is this kid coming at me from?
Most of the other drivers have already done a stint on the black tires, so this is Grosjean's first experience doing this on the outlap. VeeKay's going to get another chance right here.
He's going to send it in here.
Boom! Turn 12, inside, gotcha.
Okay, now Grosjean needs to just calm down. He's got fresher tires than VeeKay. VeeKay's very aggressive, but he's just got to just wait this out a little bit.
And he's got to set a sticker red for the last stint, but what Alexander Rossi will be praying is that it doesn't start raining soon. There are sprinkles here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So those thinking about pitting within the next few laps, you want to stay out now as long as you can. If you think it's going to rain, because you have to make an extra stop, your race chances are done.
There's a giant clump of rubber, Firestone rubber, that is gathered in the inlet right at the front of the windscreen there. Townsend circled that, and it looks as though Rossi's got some type of an engine problem. It's puffing smoke on his downshifts when he downshifts. So there's some trouble brewing, Marty, with him.
That's not good for Alexander Rossi. Kevin mentioned sprinkles a moment ago. The teams have brought rain tires out to pit road, and the last stop is approaching. This could get very interesting. You see VeeKay coming into his stall. He wanted no changes, very happy with how the car is handling. You see those scuff red tires going on for VeeKay. Also, Graham Rahal pitted as well. He's the only one on that long run strategy, Kevin.
Great call and great look, Paul, because Rossi just said the engine is not pulling. You spotted it. They haven't said to come in. Rob Edwards just said push, push, push.
Barely pull fifth.
Can barely pull fifth, Rossi says. That's got good news. Grosjean clears Montoya with VeeKay in pit lane. Grosjean needed to clear Montoya to get clean air and get the pace back going again so that he doesn't have a chance, VeeKay, to gain an advantage.
Well, he's got to put the hammer down now because he's got a lot more laps that he can run on these black tires. He's got more fuel than VeeKay, so he's got to put the hammer down and build a gap right now.
Montoya to pit lane, but let's have a look at the radar because it's getting dark skies out there. I wonder if rain is coming. There we see it out of the west.
25 laps to go. Can we get this done dry, or will it be rain affected is the question that needs to be answered. Look at this race off pit road. Takuma Sato and Felix Rosenquist. Let's go on board. The Michelin Foods on board.
Look at the raindrops on the camera, so
Let's go get
it's going to take a little while. It's going to need to rain hard before you would ever get off hot, slick tires. The track is going to need to be completely wet. With just these sprinkles, it should be okay. Marty, what's going on in the pits?
A lot of cars getting ready to come down pit road for what they think might be the final stop of the day. Simon Pagenaud, you see leading that charge. He's going to go with sticker red tires. Same for his teammate Scott McLaughlin just right in front of him. And yes, you guys mentioned it is sprinkling here, not too bad. You got to wonder though if that affects the strategist's decision. You're going to hang out saying, hey, the rain might come. We might need to go to rain tires in a drag race. Pato O'Ward almost runs in to Pagenaud as he was trying to come to his stall. O'Ward comes in struggling with the handling of the race car all day long. You see Colton Dixon leaving, and you see Pato waving inside the car as well, trying to take a tear-off for him.
Brand new Firestone red tires for Pato O'Ward, so he'll be fast on the outlap. Grosjean stays out, puts himself at risk because if a yellow comes out right now, Grosjean will be hung out. However, if rain comes, Grosjean will be in a situation of an advantage if he can hang on and put those rain tires on first. Marty.
Here come the two drivers with the best shot at Romain Grosjean. That is Alex Palou and also Joseph Newgarden. You see Palou come slowly into his stall. It is going to be red tires for Palou, and for Joseph Newgarden, it's going to be sticker red tires as well. And some problems on the right rear for Alex Palou. You got to wonder how much time that's going to cost him, and if Joseph Newgarden's going to be able to catch him a little bit as well.
Yeah, here's the thing, is that Romain Grosjean has got a huge amount of traffic up ahead. Look at that. Meanwhile, Rinus VeeKay only has Scott Dixon ahead of him. They are in two different scenarios. Well, Grosjean needs to be cranking out quick laps. I think he's going to be affected here.
Yeah, he's got to pit. He's got to pit. Here he goes.
There we go.
He's going to get held up by those guys. So you got to cover what Palou did.
But it looked like only about a 33-second advantage for Grosjean on VeeKay, Kevin. It's going to be tight.
Here comes Romain Grosjean to make his final stop unless it starts raining. Now, he had pitted later than everyone else, so he could have stayed out if they really thought it was going to rain hard in the next little while. But the penalty would be he was on the primaries. They're not as quick as the alternates. He's on those red sidewalls. Should be a little bit quicker. Let's see where he mixes in with Rinus VeeKay.
VeeKay's coming to the final turn, Paul, turn 14, onto the front straight here. Have a look at the top of your screen, the red-white car, that's VeeKay.
I think he's going to get him.
He's going to get him easily.
Yeah, he's going to get him for sure. It was a nice, clean stop by Grosjean's crew, but he got past easily. VeeKay now is in the driver's seat. He's going to have a nice big lead.
Dixon just pitted and is flying. Whoa, that was quite the impact there as Colton Herta came through turn 5. Here they go.
Another Honda smoke in there.
Having issues on the straightaway, puffing down the straight, then locks it up big time into turn 1. Dixon makes a nice clean move, but another Andretti Honda, and he's off over in the grass. So some issues going on with the Andretti cars with puffing out of the exhaust.
His teammate Alexander Rossi has done a terrific job to come from 14th to 7th. Dixon has made up the same amount of positions as well with that last pass. Let's have a look at what happened to Colton Herta.
He's just got no straightaway speed. You know, he turns in on Marcus Ericsson. They make contact, and it just sends him off the track.
And guys, he just asked his dad, Brian Herta, said, please report that Ericsson just completely knocked me off the track, and there he goes off track again.
Well, Colton Herta was on the radio, and when you're on the radio talking to the timing stand, you can't hear the spotter. So if Colton Herta had a spotter in his ear telling him inside, he wouldn't know it because he was on another chain of communication with pit lane.
4 laps to go, and let's give a shout out to Alex Palou, the one car that missed the first practice session. They had a water leak in the first practice session here at the Indy GP, but the young man who won earlier this year continues to impress, right now sitting in that 3rd position and 2nd in the championship standings. Behind him, Joseph Newgarden. You gotta kind of wonder if this is one that maybe got away from Newgarden, who clearly in practice yesterday had the best car in both sessions, looked like he was going to be the guy to beat today. But keep in mind, a very dramatic temperature change from practice yesterday to today, much cooler. You got to wonder if that affected that Team Penske machine. And behind him, Graham Rahal. I'm going to go to the lap 3 radio where he said, will someone please explain to me why we just did that? Well, this is why they did that. Graham has done an outstanding job today, saving fuel from lap 3 on, did it in 2 more stops. In fact, you can look at the push to pass that is left. Graham Rahal has pretty much all of it because he couldn't touch it all day long. An impressive run for Graham Rahal if he can stick it here and finish in the top 5.
Oh, you better hope that side pod doesn't fall off because that's been flapping around. They put some tape on it on the first pit stop after he had the incident in the first corner, and that is literally about to break off the car, Townsend.
The other problem is that Simon Pagenaud is 3 laps to the good on fuel over Graham Rahal. Rahal had to stretch it, so he might have to save. There it comes. Use overtake to defend. Graham Rahal, 196 seconds left. Pagenaud has 0.
Well, he's gonna have to work it.
Pagenaud's going to have to do it on corner speed.
You get a little boost of about 60 horsepower for Graham Rahal. 200 seconds was the allotment for this race, and you can use it in 20-second disbursements or even less. So Rahal's good for that extra squirt, that extra power in these closing 2 laps.
Page will really want a top 5 to start off the month of May. But he's out of push to pass, so it's going to make it really hard to get by Graham Rahal.
Rinus VeeKay in the Sonax Chevrolet. He's not even as old as his number.
Tell you what, that gap is starting to close. It's dropped 2 seconds now that Grosjean has gotten by Bourdais.
That's a long way to make up though, Paul, in less than 2 laps, isn't it? As he's coming round to complete his second to last lap, turn 12. Dad Moraine looking on. Mum Evie is here as well. Look at that big breath, big exhale.
And Ed Carpenter Racing will be giving that gap to Rinus VeeKay. He'll do the math in his head. 6 seconds, 2 laps to go. He knows that he can take the edge off.
1 lap to go. Less than 2.5 miles for Rinus VeeKay. He knows how to win. He won 4 times in his Indy Lights career. He
Do not use push to pass. Do not use push to pass.
He's light on fuel, guys, so don't use push to pass. So he is saving a little bit of fuel. I think if Grosjean wasn't hung up behind Bourdais the whole stint, I really feel like Grosjean has been the fastest guy.
Coaster into 7.
Wow, it's almost like they're a little surprised.
Yeah, they're light on fuel. We don't even know if he's going to make it. Coast it.
He's got 6.2 seconds to play with. Mum and Dad are as nervous as anybody here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Romain Grosjean in the background there for Dale Coyne Racing, the pole sitter. So we could have in the same day a first-time pole sitter and a first-time winner.
You're good.
You're
Don't
good.
save. You're good to
You're
go
good
here.
on fuel. He's going to be the 3rd first-time winner from 5 races. That hasn't happened since 2013 in the NTT IndyCar Series. Robert Doornbos, who's a commentator in the Netherlands, he was the last Dutchman to win. That was way back in 2007. Look at the family pride from Ed Carpenter Racing and the VeeKays. Rinus VeeKay wins the GMR Grand Prix in Indianapolis.
Wheel 8. Bring it in. Bring it in.
That's awesome. That's his trainer right there. Brought his trainer with him.
All of the sacrifice that Mum and Dad put in for their son
Finally.
to get to this level.
Gotta love the pure emotion. Welcome to IndyCar Victory Lane. Welcome to Victory Lane at Indianapolis. At the beginning of the stage, did you think this could happen, Rinus?
I actually thought it, yeah. You know, we had an awesome start of the weekend, the best start I've ever had. And, you know, starting 7th wasn't amazing, but I knew we had the car, and yeah, we were so fast. I'm so happy for the team, so thankful. I couldn't have done it without them, and it's just the perfect day. I don't know what to say. It's amazing. And thank you to all the fans coming out. It's awesome, you know, grabbing my first podium here last year and now winning. It's a dream.
I got to know the emotions over the final few laps. Were you ever fazed by the rain or them telling you to save fuel or any of that?
Well, I was not concerned about the fuel. I just hoped the rain wasn't gonna, you know, get worse. But no, you know, I'm standing in victory lane. Come on.
Hey, we got to hang out with your mom and your dad. Your dad had tears in his eyes after the race. The journey to get here and how much they've supported you. What does that mean to you, Rinus?
It's amazing. It's great to have them here. You know, it's hard to get them with the pandemic, get them overseas, but it's you know, it's a dream come true. Not just for me, it's for the team, it's for the family, everyone at home, the whole Orange Army, everyone. So I'm extremely grateful. You know, my parents, they sacrificed everything to get me up here. They're standing there, and I'm extremely happy.
Yeah, and here comes Dad.
Go, Bueller.
Watch the 105th running of the Indianapolis 500 Sunday, May 30th at 11 a.m. on NBC.